Hare Krishna. Tolerance to the mind's intolerance imprisons us in impotence. Some people are very intolerant. They say this is the only way to do things. If you do anything in a different way, then we will destroy you. So now, suppose there are some people who are very intolerant and there are other people who are very tolerant. Say, okay, yeah, I want to do it this way, but you want to do it this way, you do your way, I'll do my way. Now, tolerance is good virtue. But suppose, a person becomes tolerant towards the intolerant. That means A says to B, you live your way and I will not force my way on you. But B says, no, you have to live my way only. If you don't live my way, I will not let you live. Then, for those who are intolerant, for them, tolerance is not the way of dealing with them. We can't just be tolerant. We have to be assertive. We may even have to be aggressive. We are not going to force you to act our way, but you cannot force your way on us. So being tolerant towards the intolerant. What happens by that? Then, in the name of the being tolerant, we will not be allowed to do what we would like to do, simply because that is different from the way they are doing things. So then we become powerless. We become imprisoned in impotence, because in the name of tolerance, we lose our potency to do what we would like to do. So this is a very asymmetric and unfair power dynamic. So tolerance should not be equated with impotence. So tolerance becomes impotence when we end up tolerating the intolerant. Now, how does it all apply to? Sometimes it applies to our inner life. Now, our mind is sometimes very intolerant towards certain things. So, for example, say if you want to do something that is important for us, something that is vital for us, but just at that time our mind starts rebelling. No, you can't do this. Don't do this. Stop this. So when we start getting obstructed like this by the mind, then suppose if tomorrow is our exam and we want to study, and the mind says, no, don't study. Come on, watch this cricket match, see this movie. And we have to just firmly say no at that time. Nothing doing. So normally we may negotiate with the mind. Yes, if the mind says, come on, do this. If it's not very harmful, something is not very urgent for us, we may do something. A little variety in life is fine. But when something is important and the mind doesn't allow us to do that, so the mind becomes intolerant to our resolution to study. Say when we are trying to practice bhakti and when we are trying to chant Krishna's names, and at that time the mind says, no, don't chant. Then at that time tolerance to the mind will not work. The mind says, don't chant. Okay, you say don't chant, I will not chant. If you start becoming tolerant towards the intolerant mind, then we become impotent. We lose the capacity to study. We lose the capacity to connect with Krishna, and the connection with Krishna is our greatest power. So when we become disconnected from Krishna, then we become powerless. And then when we are powerless, the mind, which is already intolerant, becomes even more dominant. And as it becomes more dominant, then we become even more powerless. And thus we become completely imprisoned by the mind. So that's why there are certain things which we have to know they're non-negotiable. That no matter how I feel, I'm going to do these things. So that means if the mind starts infringing on those things which are non-negotiable for us, then we have to just say a firm no to the mind, nothing doing. So Krishna tells that we have to be very alert in how we deal with the mind. In 6.5 he says, Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hi atmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanaha. So he says that actually we need to elevate ourselves with the mind and not degrade ourselves. The mind can be our friend and the mind can be our enemy also. So when the mind's intolerance makes us do the activity that will degrade us, then we have to say no. And we have to stay firmly fixed in the activities that will elevate us. And as we become assertive towards those who are intolerant, then they also become take back. Oh, I cannot just boss around over here. I also have to accommodate. And then as the mind becomes more tolerant to our practice of bhakti, gradually the mind will also get transformed. It will realize, why was I so opposed to bhakti? Chanting Hare Krishna, practicing devotional service, it's actually joyful. Why should I be opposing it? And gradually the mind will become transformed. And then eventually from intolerant, it will become transcendent. It will become joyfully absorbed in Krishna. It will become our friend in our spiritual journey. And then we will also, our inner struggle will decrease substantially and will become blissful in our spiritual life. But we'll come to that stage only when we become intolerant to the intolerant mind. Thank you. Hare Krishna.